What's up, guys? Feels like it's been forever. It's been a minute. But before we get started, let's go ahead and bring in the boys.
That's great.
What's
hey.
Hey. Ooh. Hey, wait. Is this an intruder? I count extra shelves. There's something wrong here. You had less shelves before. What's going on, Ray?
No, they were always like that. They were there.
No, see, sometimes there's like a hack. It's through like Microsoft. Sometimes we get people that's not actually supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I think this is I think we still got the wrong person again. It's AI. It's AI crap.
Does look like there's some extra shelves back there.
What's up? My extra shelved friend. Oh, yeah, and I think I just saw a companion.
Yeah, because I finally got to put the shelf up. I actually got to start kind of opening up some Lego sets, and particularly the Horizon Zero Dawn tall neck set. Well, Horizon Forbidden West.
Ooh! But, I know it's been like on the docket forever. You've been wanting to build it and just haven't had the space.
Yeah. So now I have the space.
Dude, so you've been. Is that the only set you've built so far? Now that you've got new shelves.
Actually, yeah. Now that I thought I'd showed it to y'all, but I haven't. Hang on.
I was wondering. I was like, I know that the dam is going to break once he got the new shelves. It was just going to be just Lego ever since. So
yeah. So
yes, yeah. Oh, dude, and it's rotating.
Oh yeah. I actually just ordered a little stand that's made for this kind of ship.
Oh, really?
So I can stand it vertically and save a little bit of space. So
that'll be cool. Yeah. Was it like a third party? I'm guessing a third party.
Third party, yeah.
Okay.
Until I can figure out how to build it myself and just order the pieces individually, but that'll be a pain in the butt to do too.
Well, speaking of, I need to order one of those light sets for my wife. She's got the Hocus Pocus.
Cottage, yeah.
And it would look so much better if we can get some lights put on it as well. So I'm thinking about getting a third party light set for that.
Dude, I didn't even know about this whole third-party Lego universe. Yeah, I mean, there are so many stands out there.
Yeah,
that people sell, and I'm like, holy crap! I didn't even know this thing even existed. And then once you go down that hole on the internet, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I figured like if I can get some stands, it opens up ideas to save a little bit of space.
Yeah,
like I also ordered some like smaller ones that can go for like something like an X-wing, or particularly I'm thinking I could do the Anakin or one of the Anakin or Obi-Wan starfighters, so kind of have one a little bit above the other, save a little bit of space. So, but yeah, that's yeah.
Sup, Sky Knight?
What's up? Do we want to do hauls?
Dude. Yeah, man. I mean, go ahead. What you got? What's been going on in the toy / pop world?
I'm excited / embarrassed for this, but first I'm going to start with a small thing. But I got this, which
cool. D&D.
The interesting thing about this is currently right now the only way to get this sucker is to have purchased this.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Gonna get it.
Good night. Take a bow. Good massive. Lord. Dude, that's going to be insane. Wait, so oh my God, it's got the dragon in the castle with it?
And this is even more crazy, is that it's made in a way where you can actually do a campaign with that as like your game set. Like you can have your characters can search the rooms. Like they actually, from what I saw in one of the videos about it, like by the Lego people, they made like rooms with like secrets in them. So like as a player, you can find say there's a treasure in one of the rooms, like some kind of hidden treasure that can help you defeat the final boss of the story. So that's crazy. Yeah, because you can get a digital version of the campaign with it, but you can also purchase one, but you got to purchase with like points, Lego points. It's like 2,700 points. But I didn't order that. I have the digital and I've looked at it a little bit, but not much. But yeah, that's my haul, my embarrassing haul.
Man,
I've got people in the chat with halls too.
Oh,
I was
really?
gonna say like wow,
Yeah.
what's people got going on in their halls?
Scott Knight.
Oh.
I wonder what you got in the mail, huh?
Well, while he tells his, I was going to say, I don't know, mine wasn't that big. I was trying to think of all the stuff I had gotten. I know the last time I think I had shown off the Ghostbusters theater stuff I'd found because I ended up getting the Sipper and the Ghost Trap. And one of our local theaters actually has the toppers, like the drink toppers. So they had like Ghostbusters themed drink toppers at the local, it was like NCG. I don't know if I brought that up in the last, I don't believe so. But anyway, I know one toy haul I had was something that I'd been looking around for, but it ever since Target put these on sale, they just cleared them from the shelves. People apparently loved this particular figure. But I was finally able to get a hold of the Tony Stark.
That's a good looking Iron Man.
He's a
Civil War
killer. Yeah, come on, man.
That looks like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think I've mentioned this before. Hasbro's kind of really gotten a lot better with their head sculpts.
Yeah, this one in particular had a really good, and plus it's the full head sculpt, and I wish it also had the head sculpt with maybe the open helmet. That would have been really cool too. But this right here was to me the best option, and then I want to try to build from here and get other Iron Men. And then I could borrow the head sculpt if I need to. But yeah, this one's great. I want to buy a stand talking about stands. I want to get a stand to make him float and maybe find some other these the little blast effect things, which I did see that the new suit or the suit from the in-game, I can't remember which mark it was, like Mark
50.
88.
No, 85.
Oh, something. Yeah. So I was going to say that one from in-game was
nerd.
Yeah, I was going to say that one doesn't have a head at all. So it's almost like a really cool companion piece to this figure. So I thought about picking that one up because it has a lot more of these pieces so that I can do, like full effects on one of the figures or something like that. But anyway, I want to get a stand so I can get him into flying mode. That would be really cool. But right now I've just got him with Cap with Captain America on the shelf, just not fighting each other. But anyway,
I have like some Hasbro stands, flight stands, if you need one.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, dude.
Ton of them.
I'll have to see because I think that's really the only one I need in terms of Hasbro with flight, but maybe there's more. But I know this one was one I definitely wanted to make fly. I did get. I will say I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with the Star Wars books, but they've been on the High Republic for a while now, and they slowly started. You started putting new books out of just kind of in different eras, but right now we're in the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace, so it looks like they're now starting to time out certain novels that kind of correspond with it. And I picked this up, so I'm in the middle of reading The Living Force right now by John Jackson Miller. And so far it's good. I mean, it's I like how it's built out. It's kind of just just an all expansive story that follows all the council members from episode 1, and sort of just there's one central story, but you get to kind of experience everyone and their kind of mini stories going into this central task. And then there's also some bigger key points and stuff. But anyway, that so far so good. I mean, I'm liking it, but I'm probably maybe like a little over a quarter through with it. I would say I'm not quite at the halfway point yet, but getting there. So that's good. And speaking of Living Force, what's funny is I get this. John Jackson Miller is a great author. He's written a bunch of other Star Wars novels. You can probably see on the shelf behind me up here. He wrote Kenobi. Yep. He also wrote A New Dawn, which was kind of like the Rebels prequel. Yep. That came out, which was great. I mean, he's a good dude. They just announced that this September or October, I think. Anyway, it's towards the end of the year. He's coming out with a direct sequel to the first Batman movie in novel form. It's going to be Batman Resurrection. And I'm like, wow, John Jackson Miller is going to get to do that. It's going to be interesting. I'm totally down. I've already pre-ordered it on Amazon. But yeah, that was just kind of out of nowhere. I did not know, because I know there's the comic line Batman 89. but this one apparently is going to be a direct sequel. So basically, like, it takes place immediately after the first
The
movie.
aftermath of the first
Yeah,
one.
so I'm interested. And they've already got a synopsis for it and everything. It's insane. So anyway, if you haven't, I'd say pre-order that. That'd be cool. I
Yep.
also got Shout Factory's new release of Lost in Space. I don't care what anybody says. I have a sweet tooth for this movie. Something fierce. I mean, you can see right here. I love it so much. I've got the Jupiter too. You know, I mean, I absolutely love the 1998 Lost in Space movie. And so Shout Factory finally has put out a new collector's edition, just on Blu-ray, not 4K, but apparently they did a new 2K scan of the Interpositive. And I just finished it, and I can say it's pretty dang good looking. I mean, I had the original Blu-ray, and it was kind of an old port from the old DVD, so it looked okay, but it kind of, you could tell it really needed a new scan. This, I mean, the colors are great. It pops. The details are really good. It's got a bunch of special features. It basically ports everything from the old DVD and Blu-ray sets, because it had some. New Line usually is pretty good about special features.
Mm-hmm.
So it has everything they had plus some extra stuff that Shout Factory filmed. So I haven't even gotten to that yet. I can't wait to watch those, because they speak with the director Stephen Hopkins and Akiva Goldsman, the writer. So I can't wait to hear what Akiva Goldsman has to say about this, because Akiva's had a spotty history in Hollywood. I mean, it's been ups and downs like crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got this, and last but not least, now I'll shut up. I don't know if y'all are fans, but I love the movie adaptation of comics, like the comic tie-ins to movies or whatever. So Marvel was really good about them, and if you remember, they had, like, they've done stuff like the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of screwing up my stuff here, but they did the they did the Raiders adaptation, and these are really good, and obviously probably one of my oldest and most prized possessions was the for a while it was just the first issue of the 1983 Return of the Jedi adaptation, but I finally at a comic show got the rest of these. But anyway, Marvel had, they did a lot of these limited series that were comic adaptations. Well, I'm at our local toy store the other day, the good old Planet Fun, and I don't see many. I mean, they'll have the random thing here and there, but in the glass case of all places, they actually had the Willow set.
No, sweet.
and I flipped. I had to have these. It was $20 for the whole set, which is a good price. I mean, and they were in pretty good condition. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
I would say the only one that was in the worst condition you can see in the corner is a little chippage in the corner right there. But that was just on the front cover, just probably from age. But other than that, everything is pretty pristine. It's almost like they haven't been read. Their pages are not bent or anything. It's really good. And also just seeing the old ads in here, like the old Double Dragon ads and stuff. Love it. But yeah, dude, I'm a sucker for Willow. So when I saw this, and what's funny is I've got this in there's a paperback that came out that just collected all of this in one. But yeah, I never had the loose issues, and passed up on them once at a convention and regretted it. Finally got them. So woo me.
And
that's pretty much it.
And you're talking about Willow, talking about Warwick Davis. His wife passed away.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I think today.
Oh man, no, my heart.
She's only 53, I think.
God, Warwick. My heart goes out to you. That's terrible. I hate to hear that. I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, before I get into mine, Scott Knight over here says he got.
Yeah, what did he get?
He got 2 ice figures from DC. Wonder where he got those from. Goblin Queen, Jean Grey, probably from the X-Men 97, Vampire Nightwing. You found the Platinum Dark Knight Rises Catwoman. Oh, that's a good find. That was pretty hard to find.
I was going to say, is that talking about the one with the bike?
No, this is the
just the.
Yeah, it's just a Platinum edition. It's a little different than.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Because McFarlane puts a little platinum sticker on there to make it super hard to find.
What's the ice figures?
It was just from Justice League International Ice, the character Ice.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he picked up a couple from me.
Gotcha.
So.
I was going to say I'm familiar with the Goblin Queen figures and stuff from X-Men '97. Got to see that recently. That was really cool.
Yep. Okay, so mine. Let me show you mine. Mine is not all that great, but so I bought into this thing from Fan Home about building Optimus Prime, right? So it's basically the movie version of Optimus Prime. It's a model kit, and basically you pay a bunch of money. It's like a subscription service. So you start out $1.95, you get the first two pieces to build Optimus Prime, and then $480,000 later, and a few years later or whatever, it ain't gonna take that long. You get all the pieces. But the first two sets came in, I built them, got Optimus Prime's metal head, and check that out.
This sounds like you did an Iron Man thing like this, didn't you?
Yeah, I never finished it though. I should have, but I never did. But yeah, so and it's actually metal, so I mean that's pretty cool. It does have some plastic pieces, but that's that. And then of course, starting the next piece is the chest. So, looking forward to that next month. They only ship once a month, but every month you get like 6 sets in that one box. So we'll see. It's supposed to be around a little over 2 feet tall, I think, something like that. So it's gonna be huge when it gets in. And then of course, I've been trading a lot with some people online, and just pretty much everything you see in this whole shelf is new, with the exception of this shelf right here. I've had that stuff, but this is new. That's new. That's new. That's new. And then there's even something on the bottom, a Masterpiece Optimus Prime that's new. And then I can't show you, but there is a Metroplex, and he's huge. He's like super tall. He's actually probably up, 2.5 feet tall over here. He's just huge. But so I went to Powder Springs a couple of weekends ago. It's been a while since we've recorded. I don't know if I've talked about this, but yeah, I went to Powder Springs and did some selling as a vendor there because I have so much crap in here, and I made about $600, I think is what it was. And I met up with a guy, and we did some trading for a bunch of these Transformers. So it was pretty fun, man. I really like going to toy shows and selling stuff. So I have a lot more stuff I'm gonna sell. I'm just looking at all the stuff I've never taken out of boxes, and I'm sitting here like, why have I never taken this stuff out of packages? And it's just sitting here. So I said, I might as well sell some of it, see what I can do. Joe Fest is coming up. I want to make some money for that, to have actual cash on me. And, decided to sell some toys. And now I have money to go to Joe Fest. Yay.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's my haul for the week. Joe Fan 84. His haul, he says he picked up Buzzer and Ripper, the Dreadnoks from the G.I. Joe Classified series. That's pretty cool, man.
Nice.
Those Classified series rock. Yep.
So,
all righty, that's me. That's my haul for the week.
That's it. All right, we're done. All right, see you guys.
And see you later.
Bye, peace. Nah, man.
So, did anybody watch while we're talking about my haul and it's being Transformers centric here, did anybody see the Transformers 1 trailer?
Yes.
I saw it from my phone, but with limited sound, and it was like, wow. It was just, it caught me off guard because number one, wasn't expecting a new Transformers movie like this, and plus, I guess, is it all CG?
Yeah,
it's just animated movie. Yeah.
Okay. I was
No,
going to say it.
No John Turturro. No John Turturro.
No, I'm like, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Yeah, from what I understand, this is basically a prequel movie.
Origin type.
Yeah. Before
where Optimus is friends with Megatron or whatever,
Yeah.
but his name is not Optimus Prime.
It's
Yeah,
Orion Pax.
sorry.
And Megatron's not Megatron yet. He's D16. Okay.
I'm guessing
Douchebag 16.
I'm guessing the D is going to be the basis for Decepticon at some point.
Well, it could be, but I mean, in reality, the D16 was I think it was based in the comics, but it's basically like Diaclone, which is where the Japanese version of the Transformers came from. Like when Hasbro went to Japan and like, oh, let's take these Diaclone toys and make them Transformers in the US. So, and I can't remember what the 16 is. Maybe there was like 16 of the Diaclones that they pulled in that original batch. I could be wrong on that. So if somebody's watching and wants to correct me, please feel free to correct me.
That's pretty I mean, that's crafty though. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a neat way of not giving a nod to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only saw the trailer from the phone.
So I'm pretty hyped about it. I mean, looking at some of the rhetoric online, it's kind of what you expect. Why can't we have a dark Transformers movie, or why does it have to be so kiddie, and why can't it be grown up? And I haven't really
valid
heard
points. I mean, valid points.
I know they are,
but yeah, I mean, from what I could see, it looks harmless. I mean, it's all CG, so it seems more kid driven, anyways.
Yeah.
But I am kind of confused. It seems to me it's cool, but it almost feels like it would be a Netflix movie or something.
Yeah, I guess, but you got Chris Hemsworth, so you kind of want to drive that.
You got Chris Hemsworth, and it's in his contract. You can't stream that stuff first.
The voice cast is pretty stacked for it. I mean, not in terms. I did see some people making a valid complaint that this is also definitely one of those gimmicks where the star power is part of the promotion as well. Yeah, because I can think of plenty of voice actors that will do just as well. I get why they're doing a different actor for Optimus, because you want someone who sounds younger for this younger version of him.
Yeah.
So I get it, and I do like that Chris Hemsworth does seem like he's trying to just do a Peter Cullen.
Yeah, a little bit
younger Peter Cullen. He's playing it very straight. So I like it's a big cast though for who they picked. Like they got good people like Brian Tyree Henry, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I was surprised, but I liked what I saw. But I liked Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee.
Now, see, that's the one that just made me kind of like, it's
he's definitely going to be the comedy.
Yeah, he's
going
to be the comedy relief. Yeah, most definitely. But I liked it. The animation looked really good.
Oh yeah, who is Scarlett Johansson supposed to be playing? Is that RC?
Alita one.
Alita, okay. Yeah, that I'm not familiar with. That
and then Lawrence Fishburne is Alpha Trion, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's the one that threw the I guess it was a T-Cog or something to help him transform the little.
Oh, he gave their powers.
Yeah. He's the one that.
Okay, so that was him. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks fun. I'm I don't know if I go to the theaters to see it, but I'll definitely watch it if I get a chance to. Like if it comes out on streaming.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, then again, I might end up seeing it because my wife absolutely adored the trailer, and she is a Transformers fan. Like she is.
Oh, really?
She watched. Well, not super fan, but she, as a kid, watched one of the. I think it was Armada, maybe, but she watched one of them as a kid. Like watched the series from beginning to end, and she loved that.
Oh, okay.
So it was whichever series Starscream was like a good guy, and he sacrificed himself at some point.
Well, he didn't start out that way.
He was like purple or something like that. I think he had a purple color.
Red.
Red. Yeah, red. Yeah.
He didn't start out that way.
Okay. It was whichever. I think she really liked his little arc that he had.
Yeah.
But it was whichever one that was from. That was
Armada.
That was Armada.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So we might end up seeing it then.
Well, I know I'm definitely going to go see it, but also they're re-releasing Transformers the movie from 1986 in theaters in May 13th and that weekend. So
just in case you were really itching to listen to Orson Welles,
yes, and Leonard Nimoy
play a horrifying.
Wait, did Leonard Nimoy was he in that?
Planet-eating
monster. Yeah, he played Gallagher.
Leonard Nimoy was in he was in that original movie. But just think about all the people singing along to "You Got the Touch." Like everybody's going to be shouting that.
You got the touch.
It's like that's going to come out. Oh, and episode 1 having its 25th anniversary, they're reissuing that in theaters. Yep. I'm actually like, and what's funny is I've been hit up by a few people that are like, hey, I'm actually thinking about going to see this. You want to go? I'm like, maybe. Because I could totally see myself going back to that. I mean, even though I own the movie and I've seen it a million times, of course I could see episode 1 in theaters.
Yeah.
But I mainly want to get the bucket. There's I've been seeing pictures of the popcorn bucket, and even my wife is like, I kind of like that bucket. I'm like,
have you seen the pictures of the Deadpool and Wolverine buckets?
Well, see, I've seen the I guess it's just guesses at what it'll be. Like they haven't been,
okay.
They haven't been fully. Real. Yeah, no. So far, everything I guess has just been sort of renditions of what it could be, or what the just kind of because they haven't. I guess they haven't issued the official bucket yet. But yeah, I don't know. I bet it's going to be crazy. One of them I saw, like one of the renditions was like it's Deadpool's head, and the popcorn goes around his head, but in his mouth is the Dune worm mouth.
Oh, I saw that.
It looked, it was, but so it just looked, looked like you're holding it in your lap. It was just very, very bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. And then I've seen others where it's just, their mouths are holes, and it dispenses out the side of the thing or whatever, so the popcorn looks like it's shooting out. I mean, there's no telling what they're going to do, but if it's going to go out in theaters, it's going to have to be in some way safe. It can't just be like completely sexually explicit. But I don't know. I can't wait to see what they come up with, because apparently it's a market, man, because I'm hooked. I can't believe they've got all these crazy these buckets, man.
Yeah, if they go too hard, all of a sudden you're going to get the mouse's attention, and the House of Mouse don't like it when there's too much dirty, stuff being seen.
Right?
We're trying to show those movies,
I don't know, man. It depends on how much money is raking in.
Yeah.
Bob
Iger. He's like,
this one they are leaning.
He's PG-13, and he's seeing the $1 billion mark just reaching.
We'll go a little hard R on this.
He's like that. He's like that Larry David meme of like,
yeah.
It's like, listen, can't have kids without adults, right? Right.
Look at it this way. We started this whole franchise in 2008. All those people are grown-ups now. We're there.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer, man. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, I did the best priming you can to get ready for Deadpool and Wolverine. I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine yesterday.
Oh God! Oh no. Man, where did I? Yeah, me and my wife.
I saw that it was on. I just finished watching something, and it was recommended. I think it came on. I finished watching Aliens, and
something's wrong if it recommends that movie to you.
So it was like way down. It's like it's that thing that always happens, and the recommend is like there's so many that fit, and then all of a sudden one that doesn't. It's just like they're trying to throw it in there. But I was like, I'm surprised that Max has this. You know what? I'm gonna try just to see what I remember, because I literally have not watched that movie since I saw it in theaters.
Oh,
and I regretted seeing it in theaters.
But
I
saw it in bootleg. I remember I watched the leak.
Me too.
The test print that leaked. I watched that one.
It'd be easy to just say all the bad stuff with it. All the weird stuff, but I'd say the worst thing they had going for it, they tried to cram way too much in it's less than an hour and 50 minutes. So you jump from like him being a kid, and then you jump to them being in wars, and then they go ahead and throw in, Sabretooth, he's also a rapist. Yeah, got to shove that in there, because you got to make sure that
Oh, and let's stop by the streets of
it
Nolans.
doesn't show anything happen. It just shows that he was intending to do it because that's what gets him and Logan shot up by the military.
Yeah.
That was the firing squad thing because he was going to see what's happening because I think people were like telling Sabretooth to stop, and he just started killing military people because they were telling him to stop trying to rape some woman.
What?
So it's like, okay, we'll get shot over.
And then having all that in there, it's like, you know what would make this film really sell?
Movie.
Will I Am.
Oh,
he really would make this film sell.
Well, I mean, that was another thing that also, well, not the Will I Am part. That was weird, but they didn't really do anything in terms of like making the time. Like for me, I could never keep track of when the timeline was exactly. You would see because I don't remember there ever being dates popping up.
No, we just rewatched it. Yeah.
You just gotta have to guess and like hope context clues can kind of tell you like where you are in the timeline. Because it's when they ever get recruited by Stryker, it's Vietnam. So that's the 70s. Or early 70s, late 60s, depending on when it is, at what point in the war. And then, they get recruited by Stryker, and then suddenly they're in like a jet. And it doesn't look like it's something from the 70s. It's got to be maybe 80s now. And I think they kind of established that they've been there a bit, like, because everybody has their little quippy banter talking to each other. So it's like, we've been here a while.
And this is what, almost the halfway point of the movie?
No, this isn't even halfway. This is like they've gotten in here in like 10 minutes because this is where this would be like 15, 20 minutes in. But then you have Ryan Reynolds doing his Deadpool stuff, and this is like the 80s, and then he leaves and he goes and he becomes a lumberjack.
Yep, and that's right.
And they still not. Yeah, the cars look like they're from the 70s, might be 80s.
I forgot about that.
So it's so much crammed. Like I'm pretty sure like the main plot of the movie, I'm pretty sure that's like in the early 90s. I think that's the best I can come up with.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is you have all of that was going on. Then you get to the streets of Nolans, and we're going to throw in Gambit, and then we're going to go back to we're going to have another fight, and we're going to put Deadpool back in the movie again. Like we're going to bring him back, but he's Baraka from Mortal Kombat, and it's just it just starts to be, the movie starts to fall apart. My nephew was here at the house.
No, it can't start to fall apart when that structure wasn't even getting built up to code to start with in the first 10 minutes.
It was just I agree with you. It was rewatching it. It was terrible.
So your nephew's there, and you forcibly made him watch.
No. I was going to say we had my nephew visiting, and he wanted to, or like we were watching stuff. I guess I can't remember what we were watching, and then that came up on Disney Plus, and he's like, "I haven't watched that in a while. I've been meaning to rewatch that." I'm like, "No, there's no reason for you to want to rewatch that." Then my wife pipes up, "Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while either. Like I wouldn't mind watching it." And I'm like, "Oh my, okay, well." Good luck.
Here we go.
But then so I start watching it again, and mind you, this was the first time I'd seen it since the original, like when it was first released. And I'm like, oh my god, this is not good.
It's rough. It's a rough one. I would definitely argue with somebody if they tried to say something was worse than that, because that definitely is, like, in terms of all the Fox X-Men movies, that's probably bottom of the totem pole for me.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, that. And
unless you pick like the Fantastic Four reboot, the reboot or whatever you want to call it, the latest one.
That's why I'm sticking with just the X-Men stuff.
Right? Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with talking about that or the Rise of the Silver Surfer or whatever that is.
But I will say, speaking of X-Men, I just recently went through and rewatched rewatched the X-Men. I watched all the X-Men animated series, stopped at the finale, made sure I finished Spider-Man the animated series and all that, and then came back, watched finale, and I'm not completely caught up on the X-Men 97, but so far watching the new series, it's actually been. I'm impressed. I didn't know I was going to like it as much as I did, especially with the trailer that came out. I was a little underwhelmed with it, but I don't know, it watching the series, and also kind of watching the series along with the original, it fits in, and they do a pretty good. I mean, it's not completely the same like the animation style, but I will say cinematically and just things that they can do. Oh yeah, Sky Knight. You know what? Electra is a good point.
That's why I
That's
said
a good one.
just the X-Men, because I'm not touching Electra with a 10.
Was that a Marvel movie? I just thought that was Jennifer Garner ninja movie.
Yeah.
But you know, every actor has their ninja movie.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I've so far though, X-Men '97. One thing I've loved about it is watching the original stuff and watching any old 90 or like the 80s 90s cartoons, the animation. I guess there's a mandate where they have to, it doesn't matter whatever, it's just animation, they have to be careful with the violence. Like even if there's violence, like you can't directly attack people, like you can't just be gunning people down. You could spray bullets everywhere and people can jump and dive and never get hit, or maybe get hit once after a big gunfight or something like that. But it always seems like they're very restrained. And with X-Men '97, it's very effective, and it's almost like your brain, how you would imagine all these big fights and skirmishes going out, or just how things would happen. Just like in the first episode, I don't want to spoil anything, but in the first episode, you get an example of just a great X-Men moment during a skirmish, you know, and they all have to, like, they land on a in a desert, like, you know, a certain location, and it's just, you see it in the trailer where Cyclops is like, "On me, my X-Men," you know, and they all just, it's actually, that's a badass moment in the cartoon. I'm like, that's a fan shot. That was completely from somebody's just dream. They were like, this is what I wanted to see in the cartoon. I'm like, that's great. And it sort of falls like that. The action in the series is great. The voice acting for the most part is strong, except for the woman that plays Rogue is the same woman, but she sounds different. Maybe it's just her age. She does sound different. Logan, or, you know, Wolverine, he for the most part nails it. It sometimes falls out. It's like sometimes his voice softens up a little bit or something.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, he's still got the growl. Like in the trailer, I remember it fooled me. I'm like, oh, this didn't sound good. But he only spoke like one line, and I think it was one of those times where it broke or something. Because other than that, he sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same Cyclops, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think
I was going to say this dude sounds good.
Yeah.
Little. I mean, it sounds like he's doing almost a like a, you know, just an imitation of the original guy. Yeah. But other than that, it sounds pretty good. You know, Beast sounds great. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying the series. I don't know, Ray, if you plan to watch it, but
I'm torn between, should I just go ahead and jump into it, or should I try to like get through the original series, because I feel like it's going to take forever to get through though.
Well, no, I wouldn't even do that. Just watch like the last half of the last season.
If that, I would say maybe even that. Maybe just watch the final episode, and because some of it's all just backstory anyway in that final season, where they tell like the backstory of Mr. Sinister and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there is I think the last couple of episodes, at least the last two, are like a multi-part thing for the last season. So I mean, don't just watch the last one. Watch that whole little.
I will try to get to it. It is on my to be watched at some point. I definitely.
I would say
do want to watch it.
Yeah, that, and also watch Days of Future Past, that two-parter, or however many episodes it is in the series. I think that kind of helps tie in. But other than that, it kind of helps fill in stuff. But it definitely, I would say, watch the final, like you said, the final few episodes. Yeah. Because it's really great how it leads right into 97, mm-hmm. And I would say there's, you don't have to do a big. I had been wanting to rewatch the series for a while anyways, so you don't have to do that.
I'll say I'm not going to spoil anything, and I know, Austin, you're on the second to last.
Yeah, I'm like on that. I need to look it up, and I'm on like episode 5 or 6.
You're on episode 5, and you're in for a big episode. A big episode.
I've been trying to stay away from spoilers, so do not spoil it.
So I'm not spoiling it for you. But the next episode, which is the one that just dropped this week, sort of made me a little like ill, and because of, well, I don't want to say anything. It just didn't turn out. It did something that didn't really want it to do. Because I thought something had already been finished, and it just kind of told the story of how it was not finished. And I'm like, man, come on, that I wanted that to be finished. So I'll leave it at that. But other than that, I think the series is really good. I've enjoyed it so far.
They're already signed. I think there's 3. I think there's
Yeah.
already 2 seasons. 2 and 3 is already
Oh yeah.
greenlit, and I think they're already working on season 2 or almost finished with season 2 or something like that.
Yeah, and there's rumors that this is so popular they're talking about bringing Spider-Man.
Aren't there?
Do it.
Yeah, like
Do it.
create the whole MCU for the Marvel animation.
Aren't they
Kind of
doing?
like they did in the '90s, but I don't know.
Well, did they also announce spinoffs for like the X-Men '97?
I
I
hadn't
thought
heard of
I
that.
saw that somewhere.
I hadn't heard of that. I know they're doing a lot of comics,
Oh, okay.
not for X-Men '97, but I think the X-Men comics are kind of relaunching here in a bit, and there's going to be a lot of.
They're getting ready for the X-Men in the MCU.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of single, or one character titles.
Yeah.
Along with the X-Men and the Uncanny X-Men and the new X-Men and the X-Men Blue and the X-Men White and
X-Men Red.
Yeah, they have like 50 different X-Men titles.
The X-Men X.
Yeah.
The X-Men Y, X-Men Z,
X-Girls. The
X-Boys.
That would be cool though to see, like, to have them do, especially Spider-Man. That was a really that was a well put together show. I mean, do it short and sweet. I don't know what other storylines they could adapt. I'm sure you probably know.
We should just find more episodes of Peter Parker revealing his identity to terminally ill children, because he knows that they're not gonna be able to tell anybody his identity.
That would be pretty good.
That was, as a kid, I remember watching that episode, and it didn't hit me with like how dark that moment, like almost comedically dark that moment is. Like as an adult now, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I guess it's okay. I'm going to tell her. She might
What's
not
he gonna
be
do?
in the morning.
Oh man, no. But no, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I've been going through all that and insanely. Oh, Bad Batch. I'm caught up on Bad Batch, but I think Ray, you're not caught up, right?
Not on the newest episode.
Yeah, I was going to say the newest episode's great. I don't want to give anything away, but they're building towards, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
May 1st is the finale.
Oh, May 1st is the finale?
I think so, because we have 2 more episodes, I believe.
I think so.
Next week and then the week after.
The week after is going to drop like 2 or 3 episodes, I thought.
Oh, it is again? Oh, I thought.
Yeah. There's going to be another double drop or something.
So I guess they're trying to get everything done in time for May the 4th.
Yeah, let me. I'm looking up the release schedule right now, and okay, no, I was wrong. No, just two more after this one.
That's what I was thinking. I thought there was just next week, and then after that it's May 1st, and that'll be the finale. And
yeah, I was thinking there was a double drop at the end.
Yeah, but
apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah, but so far, I mean, this season, I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to spoil anything for Ray. But what do you, Ray? I mean, what do you think so far of the season? Of the series?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've really enjoyed the Bad Batch so far. I'm wondering how it's going to play out in the end. Like, me and my wife have been kind of making guesses about like what could happen, because there's been setups about like what can be a post whatever this story is going to be, because they've kind of found this place that they can actually call a home now on Pabu. But Pabu? Is it Pabu? Puba?
I think you're right.
Pabu.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The island. They found a place that they can really call a home, and they've also kind of I don't know. It's making me wonder. It's like when we first started watching it, we were thinking like, yeah, well, don't get too invested in them because you're probably not going to make it. But it seems like they're trying to give you some sense of like there can be something for them out here if they can get out, because they don't want to stay in this life anymore either. I think Omega's kind of changed them, bit by bit.
So where are you at in the series right now?
I think they're going to get, or they've gotten Rampart to go. Yeah. I think they got
Oh,
Rampart.
so you just hadn't seen this week's episode. Okay.
I'm all, like I said, I've only not seen the newest one.
Yeah, so I don't think Pabu's in their future because the Empire knows where it's at now.
Oh yeah,
So I got, I kind of think they're gonna bite the big one at the end, but then
let's see. That's the thing, though. Star Wars, at least when it comes to these,
yeah,
I don't know. It seems like it's out of spirit to always try to do Rogue One over and over.
Yeah.
And
Filoni is really good about basically creating characters that last. Like you think, oh, they're going to die, like Ahsoka. She carries through. I feel like he may have found some path for at least some of these characters.
Yeah, and I think that's the other part. I'm thinking that maybe this leads to yet another series, something else, and maybe not directly starring the Bad Batch, but they come into play. Yeah, in this new series.
Yeah, like one character we kind of, just because of the arc that they've been having, we've been thinking like I could see them making it through to the end because of the arc they've gone through. That this is like a way for them to actually do something they weren't doing before, which was Crosshair.
Yeah.
He's had he's had it, like by this point in season 3, he's become about my favorite character. Like with just this arc he's had. And especially the introduction of finally showing the dynamic that can be there between him and Omega.
Yeah,
and you kind of see him soften and kind of like realize the difference between family and loyalty and stuff like that. And so I could see him possibly being one of the one that makes it through to the end, just because that the typical story narrative type of thing that will happen is a character like him will be the one that makes it through to kind of just keep going. But I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm excited to see it though.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to ending because I'm really enjoying the Bad Batch, but I also want to see, what happens. I want to know what happens to these people.
Yeah.
To this group of guys. I'm worried. I'm worried about them. I'm really worried.
I'm still not. My wife is still not convinced that Tech is dead.
I think. Well, we don't know who that.
The stalker guy.
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
But here's my idea though about why that would be. I'm not certain if that's Tech or not, or if it is Tech. He's not in any condition where they would. I don't know if they could get through to him or not. Well, because just one simple thing, he knows where Pabu is, and that soldier had to go through all those hoops to find Pabu. So, if it was somehow Tech, they could have gotten the memory from him to find out where they were. And being that he had to actually search for it means that that memory wasn't there for him, or something, maybe he's brainwashed it all out or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm getting into nerd talk.
You're such a nerd.
Speaking of Star Wars, though, the one other thing we never got to talk about, the Acolyte trailer that dropped.
Yep.
And oh boy, did people get their panties in a twist over it.
I don't understand why. They kind of explained what it was going to be coming up, and it was everything I thought it was going to be. I'm totally down for it.
Okay, so here's the ones I've seen. So I'm going to gloss over the dumb ones, which is always it's woke Star Wars now. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's I'm not even bothered with that one because it's just not worth the time.
Yep.
So I'm going to bring up ones that are actually seem valid, but I'm going to kind of push back against them. So one was people didn't like the costumes they were seeing. Like they were saying they looked either like bad cosplay or they were too clean.
Yeah.
But I think that's the point of it, is that you're supposed. This is a different age, and and I think it's also because you're not seeing much of it yet. That is there, especially if you do look at all the books and stuff, there is that clean vibrance to all the artwork that they did for the characters. So there's that. I saw one thing people didn't like was the showrunner. They found out. I feel like the people who point this out are doing this in bad faith, and I think these are like the people that are also the angry anti-woke people.
Yeah,
but they're saying that. So, God, what's her name? The showrunner,
Leslie Headland.
Leslie Headland. Yeah. So apparently, she for a period of time was an assistant to Harvey Weinstein or Weinstein. Oh, Harvey. But I looked it up, and it seems like it's such a footnote on her, like on her career, in her job career. I really don't see. I could easily see it as one of the situations where she was truthful when she said, like, I didn't know this was going on, because it was 1 year. She was only an assistant for 1 year, I think.
Yeah.
So I could see that being a situation where, yes, she's just telling the truth. Now, if she worked for him for 5 years as his personal assistant, I could say, like, okay, yeah, that's a little suspicious if she said, like, I didn't know anything about what he was doing. But 1 year, that's plenty of time to not see anything.
Yeah.
Or so I feel like that's a bad faith argument.
The only thing I've heard about with her, I haven't heard that, but I didn't hear that thread at all. The only thing I've heard negative towards her, I think, and this was way back in the past, but right after the Celebration dropped, and she came out and did her stuff. I remember hearing that there were rumors that there were like creative differences or something like that, and she was also a little. I guess she must have been. Maybe she's just under a lot of stress. Probably clashing with Lucasfilm, maybe something like that. I bet she's probably just dealing with, like anybody, when you're you're coming into somebody else's house, but you're trying to build something, but then they're like, no, and you go, no, I want this. I bet she probably was having to deal with a lot, and that's just what I had heard, was that she like I guess the behind the scenes of this is a pretty frantic production, maybe, and I don't know. I thought she had gotten fired. Maybe that was one thing I had heard, was that she was kicked off the project, but maybe not. Maybe that was just hearsay, or maybe she left and then came back, was like, okay, it was just a fight or something. I don't know. Yeah. But regardless, I heard that it was going to be sort of a show, dealing in the High Republic, dealing with but showing love to old Hong Kong, kung fu movies, wire fu and wuxia and stuff like that. So it to me it matched, and also they got Trinity from the Matrix, because that's what they wanted. They wanted Trinity in Star Wars, and that's what they got. Yeah. Daphne Keane, I was excited to see her in it, and now we got to see Jackie Law and her character. I was pretty impressed with that. I'm glad she's playing an alien character, because I saw her in His Dark Materials, and I just felt like there was so much going on in there. I bet she'll be so excited to just get to put on makeup like this and have fun in a different world. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited to see her. What's his name? Lee? Is it Lee? Jongjai or Yongyai or what? The guy that plays Soul. From Squid Game. That's right. Yeah. He looks like he's going to be awesome in this. But I can't wait to see him in it. Overall, I'm excited, but I guess I can see where some people are coming from in terms of there is some cleanliness to it, but it is supposed to be a clean, like flat, smooth time. It's kind of like the aesthetic in episode 1, stuff like that but even further back. The only thing I'll complain about is there were certain shots I would see where the lightsabers looked like friggin' Force Effects lightsabers in their hands, and I'll just be like, I don't know. If I was the person behind the scenes that checked all of that I'd always just be the one going like, "Oh, fix that, guys, fix that." Yeah, because you cannot. It's a fine line. It slips, like Ray was saying. The people talking about being like fanfic or whatever, film or whatever, cosplay. I mean, it does. If the lighting and the lightsabers don't look right on screen, it falls so quickly into a fan film.
So Well, I think
Kenobi suffered from that a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kenobi suffered greatly from that.
Yeah, but I'll say that this is also probably trial and error on their part, because Kenobi was one of the was also then starting to do more of the the lightsabers that are lit up.
Right, the live blades.
Because I know. Yeah. Well, I think they said this is. Didn't they say that they were able to have? I want to say there was something new about these, because I know that they had them in the sequel trilogy. They had lit up lightsabers also. I want to say I think there's something to do with the battery on it. Maybe.
I think so, and also I think they also had the technology that they would clash, kind of like how Force Effects blades were. They would have the but maybe that was even for Force Awakens. Maybe they had already developed that.
Yeah, they did, because there was light that they were there was natural light that was coming off the blade that they were making use of
to flicker. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, I thought the Acolyte looks promising. I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'd love it. I mean, the High Republic. I'm actually going to reread the series because I haven't finished it. I only read the middle section, and so I'm going to start over and just start with the basically go through through it chronologically, and kind of catch up to that what we get in the Acolyte. But it's cool. It's a cool era. I like that it's kind of fresh and outside of the. Because I was going to say with Bad Batch, I'm kind of ready for it to be over with because I'm getting clone fatigue. I've had it for a couple of decades, feels like. But and plus I just want to see that come to an end. But at least the High Republic does have some room for storytelling. But at the same time, I'm like, how many pirate stories can we tell?
Yeah.
How many pirates? There's pirates everywhere.
Well,
but how can you also come up with a threat that doesn't seem it seems bad, but you can't have it be too Sithy?
Yeah.
Because if it's too Sithy and it becomes too much of a problem, and this was another argument that I saw someone do, which was, what about when Ki-Adi-Mundi said in episode 1 that the Sith hadn't been seen in a millennia? What'd you think about that, Disney?
Yeah.
It's like it's a line in the movie that someone said. It's just like anywhere else in the world, it's called hearsay. Just because someone said it doesn't mean it's the truth. So you can, you can only, in terms of narrative storytelling, that can always be thrown aside because you can say it's hearsay. That line's only there to just set up an idea of a long,
it's easy to. I was going to say it's easy to retcon that.
Yeah, you can hand wave that away in one simple way. He never finds out about that. This is a story that by the end of it, the Jedi don't want anybody to know about. So, either everybody involved is dead with that conflict, or somebody sees, makes some revelation and they decide to erase any records of that whole thing. So nobody ever knows what happened.
It's easy. Or what if it just totally flips things on his head and Yoda is aware of it? And Yoda's hiding all this crap throughout the prequel.
That might be a revelation.
The prequels, and it's like, you knew about this, Yoda?
Your
mouth you will keep shut.
I'll say this because I have not read nearly as much of the High Republic as y'all. Has Yoda physically shown up much in the?
No, he usually always is mentioned as he is off doing his thing.
I think he's been in some comics,
just like
in the comic. It's just in the comics. They actually kind of explain more of what he was off doing, but only in comic form. Yeah,
I do feel like there's this feeling that we probably are going to see him at some point in the story. In the storyline, maybe they'll find somebody to fit him just for the familiarity.
Yeah, bring Yoda
familiarity. I do hope whatever they do, just I don't know. I don't care. Like I just don't make it feel so forced.
Yeah,
just
right.
Find something that's naturally interesting, to use them for.
Well, my only issue with it, I'm excited for it. Can't wait to watch it. My only issue with it is it's looking a little, and this has been a problem with a couple of the series. It's looking a little Star Trek: The Next Generation to me. When I say that, I'm talking about just the production value of the show. Mm-hmm. Like you could tell it's a TV series, not a movie.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because some of the and it could be that this is the volume. If I don't know if they filmed in the volume.
I think it was a mix. I don't think they. I do think they filmed on location for some stuff, but I don't think they. I don't think they went the Andor approach and just.
Gotcha. Because see, Andor to me looked good.
Right? It looked good because they did a lot of on location filming, but the problem with that was it was a lot more expensive, I bet, than just using the volume, which is I think where they're trying to find balance is how do we do a space show where we need to save money for the big.
And to me, it's not even the space scenes that look bad. It's the stuff. Yes, it's the background of them doing stuff. It's like, that looks a little. But anyway, that's just my.
I get it. Yeah.
All right, so we're at the hour mark. So do you want to wrap it up? I have. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say I have a quick recommendation.
Okay, yeah, let's just do
Amazon Prime's new series Fallout.
Yeah,
fantastic. I've not finished it. We've been going day by day. We kind of been staggering it out.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the first 5 episodes done.
I've heard it's really good. Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Fantastic. They've got the aesthetic is down pat. They like. I would say Jonathan Nolan. Like the thing I really was surprised with is he made a bunch of great different stories, but also I think he found kind of one of the fun little magic mysteries of Fallout is the whole. Do you know much about Fallout?
No, I've never played the game.
Okay. Well, if you ever watched the show, Vault-Tec is a very interesting entity within the Fallout universe. And I like that he has like done his own mystery that you're kind of following and like, what is going on here? Because part of some of the dark comedy stuff is like the idea of what this company did. Like Vault-Tec is basically like this company from pre-war, pre-apocalypse that was building underground nuclear shelters for like little civilizations to kind of just to continue, continuity of life until 200 years later they could come back and reclaim civilization. So instead of just doing that, they actually also did a lot of like bizarre and either horrific or horrifically funny experiments, like social experiments on people. Like one of the worst ones I can think of is let's get a bunch of, we're going to let people who are 5 years clean from being junkies. You're going to let them live for 5 years here, getting clean, and becoming great. And then all of a sudden we're going to start leaking drugs back out into the populace and see what happens. And there's nobody left.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of horrific stuff.
Yeah.
So in the show, there's this own mystery happening that you're kind of on like, what is going on? What did they, because they did different experiments depending on the vault. And sometimes, the people would just be left alone. Sometimes it'd be darker, but he found a really fun mystery. And me and my wife have been that's been our favorite part of, is like figuring out what is going on here.
Cool. Yeah. I'll have to give it a try.
And I was just giving a shout out to our
the Outrider
viewer. I was just going to say it looks like it's Outrider, but yeah, this is one of my favorite Star Wars ships. I love that I found this and got to put put the stickers on it and everything. So it just everything.
Is Dash Rendar sitting in the cockpit?
No, he's still in the packaging behind me, hanging on. You can see it, or right there, hanging. Yeah. But I always liked how you had this feature where you could take like the attachments off, especially if you want it to be more just realistic to the more faithful. Then you can also just be like abandoned ship, like I can't. Okay, now it ain't working. It's like you just abandoned ship, and now I got no ship, or I've got the Jupiter 2. But no, this was always a great ship. But no, speaking of Fallout, me and my wife just finished that series.
Oh, you finished it?
Oh yes, let me tell you something. I'd never played the video games. I've only played a little piece here and there, and watched other people play some of the whichever games. I think
you could just tell me this, yes or no. Is the Vault-Tec 31 mystery pretty wild?
Oh, all of it. Yeah, that's wild. 31's wild. I mean, that's the thing is I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh yeah, that's
but
why I only said 31.
All of the dynamics between the vaults so that's one thing that draws you in. One thing I really love about the series is some of the interweaving storylines. I don't want to give anything away, but overall, I wasn't even a fan of the series, but watching it gave me the impression that it was. I mean, it was like playing the game. You could see so many nods to play in the game. And it's even just in the story itself, some of the stuff, it's just like playing the video game. So it's got me wanting to play the game for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It is wild and some of the best acting. And if you love Walton Goggins, you will love this show.
Walton's great in it. Ella Purnell is great in it.
She's
everybody,
all the people in
the new
kid.
I'm not familiar with the new kid who plays Maximus, but he's been fantastic too. Like,
yeah, I was going to say my wife kept calling him a little Denzel. She was like, "That is Denzel's son." I'm like, "No, we saw him in Tenet. That's Denzel's son." I'm like, "I don't know who this is." She's like, "I don't know, but he's got he does have a look about him."
The scene that really sold me on and when I was thinking like this kid's really good was the hands in the air scene at the bridge, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a moment where he's just looking at him and you see this like settled horror on his face, like it's like this is life or death right now. Like he's that I've been here so long, I'm sick of this kind of stuff, and it's just like it's just great acting. So yeah, fantastic everybody who's been.
And I had already heard a little bit, like I thought that Johnny Pemberton was going to be probably just a tiny little bit part in it, like a cameo or something. And because I had seen him mention it a while back, and then when he finally shows up in the trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably going to be a bit part. But I cannot believe, like I love me some Johnny Pemberton, and I can't believe they put him in this show, and I don't want to say anything else. He's great in the show. So Johnny Pemberton, love him. I just love, everybody is just so great. I mean, even Kyle MacLachlan's great in the show. I mean, his look, he just has the look for this world. Like, didn't you think so, Ray? Like just the way his bone structure and everything is. I'm like, it makes sense for him to be in this. In the storyline, I'm like, it makes sense for him to be in this show for some reason. I don't want to say anything else beyond that.
I had to laugh at my wife though about him because she was like watching him. I said, like, yeah, that's Paul Atreides, like the original one from 1984. It's like, that's Paul.
Yep. You know, the villain from the Flintstones.
Listen, naive. But we've been loving that. I definitely would recommend that.
Yeah, 1000% watch it. That's
definitely going to be on my top 10 of the year.
All right, so my recommendations. Boom! I'm going to share some screens here.
Oh,
so I just helped back this this Kickstarter that just finished actually. And this is series 2 for the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Yeah, these things are bad. So I got where's he at? Come on. Where'd they go?
Word to grr.
I mean, you can see all the cool figures that they have. Oh, here we go. So I'm getting this guy right here.
Oh,
he just looks awesome.
Oh,
he just looks really, really awesome.
It's giving me Warriors of Virtue vibes.
Yeah, and
enough.
And that's a cool one too. That fox, man. I'm probably going to end up getting that one too. At some point, I'll probably add it to my backer kit if it allows me to. But I'm getting this guy as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, Merrill the Bard. He just looks like
like Robin Hood.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, kind of. Yep. I didn't even think about that till you just said it. But yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait for these figures, man. So I got a couple of them and pulled them out and started playing with them, and they are actually really, really nice action figures. So if you want to head over to Spiro Toys, check out their selection of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom action figures. Nice. And that is it for this week. Guys.
What? That's all?
That's it for this week.
Well, good. I'm tired of seeing your faces.
What?
What are you from? I'm from New York or something? Yeah. Tired of seeing your faces.
Bye. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Going to Boston.
Bye.
Thanks everybody in the chat. Have a good night.
Later days.
Later.
Get.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Go. Get.
Ciao.
Bye. Oh,
Sayonara.
Somebody.
Hey,
Auf Wiedersehen.
turn this thing off.
Okay, you want me to do it? Okay.